Welcome to this episode of BeamNG Roadkill Projects, where you learn how to properly lift your Moonhawk. Return of the Rally Hawk, everybody. Alright, so right here in front of you, you are looking at a piece of BeamNG Roadkill history right here. So, I started doing these probably back in 2014-ish. I started to mess around with Beam. Basically, I started playing the game when I got my first laptop. And everything that I did on my laptop, I never recorded. I only recorded episode 1 and 2 are the only episodes that were ever recorded for BeamNG Roadkill on my laptop. And you'll probably see the difference in quality because in episode 3, where we did the Restore Stow, it was all different, and that's when my computer was fresh and brandy new. But the first ever vehicle that I messed with was a Moonhawk, and it is this one right in front of you. This is the OG Moonhawk, and it never always looked like this. It was originally tan, and it was more of a General Mayhem clone at the time because of the vehicles that we had in the game. But there's two vehicles that I built, and it's the OG Barstow and the OG Moonhawk. The Moonhawk was first, the Barstow was second. But obviously, the Barstow has lived up to a way more glorious name now. It's the it's the first vehicle to go sixes in the fleet. But this one right here, it's never really lived up to a good name. This vehicle has always been plagued with being a troubled one. I've blown up the motor several times in it, of course. That shouldn't surprise you. But also, I have broken the car a lot. Whenever I converted it to the Rally Hawk from the General Mayhem clone, I had lifted it for, I think, episode 30, loved it so much, and I decided to make a clone of Gingium's Rally Miata at the time. But obviously it's not green anymore and all that, and he's also converted it to all-wheel drive. But this car right here has always been plagued as a vehicle with trouble. It has gone through several differentials because you're not supposed to put a locking diff on this thing. It has gone through one motor, I'm pretty sure, and there was also an episode of Roadkill Projects where we took this thing off-roading, and it sucked. It was terrible. This thing does not off-road well. But the last time you saw this car was in episode 50, and at the end of episode 50, I did that whole little montage of me doing burnouts and donuts and everything, and I'm pretty sure the OG Moonhawk is not present. Because it was one of the first vehicles that I started to toy with, and I accidentally ramped it into a berm and blew the front suspension out. So, yeah, I basically ruined the car again in episode 50, and it got shipped home broken, and it sat broken for the last 10 episodes, pretty much. And even if I look at my list here... No, I didn't put it on my list of vehicles that I'm cutting. Huh. Wow, okay, I thought this was a vehicle that I was going to cut, but basically, like, you know, to accept its facts. This thing was never going to be seen again. I wasn't going to work on the car anymore. I was basically done with it. I had no more ideas for it. The thing was very limited. I've gone through like 8 or 9 different suspension sets with this car because of how flimsy the Moonhawk suspension is. And honestly, I've said this before in a video, the Moonhawk is in dire need of a refresh by Beam. It needs a refresh, and that's why I can't really make a lot of content on the car, because it's just so old at this time. Like, it has a lot of the old, like, original frame texturing and everything. It still has, like, the old original engine model that needs a lot of work. The air cleaner for this car has had a broken texture for, like, 2 years now at this point. And, yeah. But as you can see, this is kind of how it's sat. We got rid of the tires, and I've just put some steelies on it. And it's sat for a year. But it's finally coming back. Surprisingly. Recently, I saw that there was a mod uploaded for the Moonhawk that gives it some very much needed work, and we're doing that today. Well, we're putting the motor in it, and then it's going to get sent off and put on the new frame and everything, and then we'll come back to this probably a few days from now. But this thing is getting a complete refresh. It's going to get a big block. It's going to get basically hopper suspension, which I'm not excited about that because the hopper suspension really does suck, but it's going to make this thing better, and especially it's going to get four-wheel drive. So the Rally Hawk is going to be taken to new heights today, or at least in this episode. So, yeah, but a quick little run over of the car. Right now, it's got a 382 cubic inch V8 with a Stage 2 supercharger, Stage 2 internals. I'm pretty sure it's got a 383 gear in the back, and it's a locker. It originally had, I think, 28-inch off-road tires on it, BFGs, but it no longer has them. Yeah, it's caged, and it's got a bull bar in the front. It's got some of the Mad Mod parts on it, which I'm surprised they still work, but we're unfortunately getting rid of that today. But, yeah. So what we're going to be doing now, and the things that I can do myself, and I don't trust myself to cut this thing up and make it into a crazy vehicle, is we're going to pull the motor out of it, and we're going to put, I think for the time, well, actually, I can take this stuff off, Mad Mod stuff off, because it's not needed. But we're going to pull the motor, and we're going to put a 410 cubic inch V8 in this thing. Let's just take it out completely. The car is going to be converted over the manual, unfortunately. I don't want this car to be a manual, but I don't have a choice with this one. So, yeah, sad times, but also kind of good. This is the Bandit mod, pretty much, that someone has released recently, and it gives the Moonhawk a much, much needed overhaul. Engine management, it's going to get an adjustable rev limiter. Obviously, it's going to have a I wonder if I can put a dirt track engine in this thing to start off, because I forgot about that. Okay, it's gonna get a yeah, I'm more into that. Dual exhaust, it's just gonna be open headers. I'm making this thing better, hopefully. Dual plane intake now. Can put turbos on it. I think street turbos were the way to go. Yeah, we're gonna keep it with the turbos for now, but if you guys want to see a dirt track engine in this car instead, which I think would be more entertaining. But, yeah, no clue how much power this car is actually going to make, and, the ultra heavy duty engine mounts. Transmission, it has to be a race 6-speed manual transmission. Radiator, because I'm pretty sure I blew that out when I jumped it, and right now it's just got a stocker in it. So we'll just put a drag performance radiator in it so it never overheats, because this is kind of an expensive motor at this point. Alright, and let's see. Ooh, okay. It should only be making 10 pounds of boost, which I think is plenty. She's a ripper. Hell yeah. Let's see if I can avoid breaking the differential. That's sketchy. The suspension is really soft in this thing. Oh yeah, engine seems to be stable. That's good. Oh yeah. It's good. Okay. Alright, so this thing is going to get sent off to get a new frame put under it. It's going to get four-wheel drive, and we will be back in a couple days to finish this thing off, and yeah. This thing is going to be completely transformed when you see it next, so we'll be right back. Look at this unit. This is the new and improved Rally Hawk. Well, it's not done yet, but this thing basically has an extended hopper chassis under it. I don't know how extended it is, but it's basically everything out of a hopper. That's the fuel tank, that's the axle, that's the front axle, that's the steering and everything, which is a little scary for me because I honestly think the hopper is one of the most disappointing vehicles in Beam because the suspension is a complete mess. It doesn't ride well, it doesn't rock crawl well, it doesn't off-road well, and it can't race. So, with that proven, maybe the hopper suspension is going to be pretty good under a Moonhawk. We have proved it's good under a Corvette. We have the supercharged Corvette with the V8, but I don't know how good it's going to be in a Moonhawk. But it now has four-wheel drive. It's got 410 lockers front and rear. It's got 36-inch tires. And I had to put a roof bar on it because I kind of felt bad removing the other one. But this thing needs a little bit of work before we take it out off-roading. So we're going to get it over to the shop that we now share at the racetrack here. We're going to put the fenders on. We're going to put the hood. Get a new hood for it. But outside of that, I think that's it. Then we can take it on a bit of a cruise. Because I had to drive this thing over here for this, obviously. It cruises. It's got a race 6-speed manual transmission in it now, so any issue of this thing performing should be absolutely extinct at this point. It is a good motor. I don't know how much power the motor has. Maybe we'll find that out today. But, yeah. It's a unit. I'll drive it the short distance over. It now also has a high and low transfer case in it. And it can do burnouts. Yeah, the motor's kind of tapped out for power, or at least revving. This motor wants to keep revving. So maybe we'll bump up the rev limiter to 65. All right. So, fenders. Obviously, the vehicle has had a bit of a wide body done. It is still green. We had it repainted green because I think it looks good in green, honestly. This is one of the cars for like a pea green. I feel like it works, especially the whole off-road look of it. So, body, navigation unit, because we're going to go out into the desert with this thing. Yeah, I can't put any of that. No chrome stripping. Okay, front fender. We're taking the wells out of it as well, because we don't need them. And also, I don't want anything to block the tires. Because I know these new tires, they rub. They actually rub and can bind. These new off-road tires. At least I've seen it happen with the D-Series. Well, you'll be seeing that in episode 62. Or not 62, 61 of Roadkill. So, we'll be seeing that soon. But yeah, these can rub, so I don't want them to get caught up on anything. We're going to attempt. I'm going to put a big emphasis on that. Attempt to rock crawl with it today. Is it going to actually rock crawl? Probably not. But we have a new hood. Not much, but yeah, I'm hoping this mod kind of gets some work done to it, because it needs a little bit of the modeling needs a little bit of work. Outside of that, though, from what I've seen, this mod has performed pretty well. Here it is. The new and improved off-road Moonhawk, or the Rally Hawk, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's my question before we take this thing out into the desert and have fun. The motor in this thing is a 410 cubic inch big block with 2 turbos. Do I keep the twin turbo engine, or do I take it out and put it in something else and put a dirt track engine in this thing? I kind of want to do a dirt track engine, but let me know down below what you want to see done with this thing. And let's go out into the desert with this unit. Ooh, I just realized something. Some things need to get cut off. I will fix that later, but time to go out into the desert and have a shitload of fun with our new toy. Alright, so we are out here way in the woods. And our goal today is see if I can re-find where the monolith was in this game. For people who don't know, it's one of those box things that started to pop up all over the world, and I'm pretty sure this map has a reference to one still. But I don't remember where it is. I have a vague idea, I just have to find it. And I think I'm already going the wrong way from where I've started. Oh boy. Yeah, brakes aren't stopping as good as I hoped they would. Let me go down here. If this takes me into the industrial area, then I know where I am. Ah, Alright, I know where I am. Ooh, turn, please. Ah, okay, I know exactly where I am. Ah, but opportunity to off-road. Let's save it, let's save it, let's save it, let's save it, because I don't want to break this thing before finding it, because after that, there's a place where I want to kind of go and climb around with it. Oh, alright, already hit something hard. I don't know if this is right, but I think I remember it being up here. Oh, this thing is an off-roading unit now. Let's put it in four-wheel. Yeah, I think this is familiar to when I first found it. Yep, this is it. Oh, did they remove it? I think they removed it, unfortunately. Damn. I'll go a little bit further up to see. Oh, this thing tears through shit now, though. It's got a pretty light clutch in it, which is good. Is it back here? Pretty sure the spot that I went to is where it was. I'm going to assume that it got removed. Yeah, this thing eats through dirt now. It even climbs over rocks pretty good. go into the weeds. I do gotta say, did not come to where I wanted to find stuff, but came to a perfect place to test this thing out. Oh boy, this looks a little rough. I'm just really worried about the clutch, because it's really easy to blow that out off-roading in this game. Wow, it is getting pretty overgrown. Did I hit something? Wow, it is getting hard to see. No, I did not. I thought I did. It is getting really difficult, though. Oh, muddy. I said we were going to take this thing out into the desert, but that ended up falling through. I had this idea and thought it was better. And yeah, this definitely seems like it was a better idea. I don't know which way is going to be better to keep going. Is any of this marked on the GPS? It is. I might want to go back. It looks like if I go back, it takes me out onto a road, and I can figure out where I can go to a fun spot to thrash. Oh boy. I didn't think this was going to be this intense. Jesus Christ, I should have went the other way. This is kind of fun, though. Oh God, where the hell am I going? I am now hopelessly lost in the jungle, pretty much. Might be a cool picture. Alright, well, I'm gonna figure out where the hell I need to go, because there's another spot I want to go to before this episode's like an hour long. So I don't know when this spot got kind of redone. Oh boy, I was hoping to have a fucking thrash fest here. Maybe actually break this damn thing. But well, I guess I'll see what we can do here. Let's lock the rear diff here. Alright, that's definitely a spot I don't want to end up is down there. That's first gear. Oh, that looks like a ramp in the water there. But not a very good positioned ramp. Oh God, this water's deep. Also, just to point out, I'm not even in four-wheel drive right now. And this thing's taken all of this like a champ. Okay. What was I doing? Let me put this thing in 4. Oh, this thing is great, honestly. It's really good at getting up crap. I don't know if I'm supposed to be up here or not. I see roads, but... Oh, boy. Okay. I don't know where I am. Oh, I have to try it. Yeah! Unit! Oh, this thing's a lot of fun. Oh man, it can drift in four-wheel. Yes! Oh. I bent something. Because it's sitting weird. Or is it just because it's in gear? Nope, something's bent. But you know what? That doesn't matter. Ah, newfound love for this car. Newfound love. It needs tune work on the motor. It needs work. But hopefully you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Unit. What a unit.